I don't mind it, though. I'm the bro whisperer. That's what they call me.
Oh, really, dude?
I moved in a house recently. I moved in a new house in L.A. Whenever you move in a new house, it's always weird, but it's even weirder in the middle of a pandemic. So we moved in a new house. My girl goes, why don't you just go over and introduce yourself, right? I'll bake some Mexican cookies, and you go over there. I'm like, what the f***'s a Mexican cookie? What are you talking about? It's like a chocolate chip with salsa all over it? What are you talking about? What are you... Dicey.
He said it.
Brendan Schaub's Gringo Papi is the worst special I've ever seen. Potentially the worst special in the history of stand-up comedy. That is not an exaggeration. No one had high hopes for this. We all expected a shit show, but I don't think anyone expected this.
Later, puto! Puto! Puto?
3 years since Schaub's last special. Nearly a year of him hyping this thing up. He even delayed it an extra month after promising it would be out in March. And this is what we got? A 25-minute YouTube video? 25 minutes of some of the laziest jokes I've ever heard. A special that makes Carlos Mencia look like George Carlin. Just barely over a week since its release, and this special has over 70,000 dislikes. It's been roundly gadooshed and sits at a shockingly high 1.1 out of 10 stars on IMDb, down 0.5 stars from Schaub's last special. So it begs the question, is it really that bad, or am I just another hater? It's that bad. It's so much worse than we expected. After Schaub enters to Thick Boy Squad, Thick Boy Nation, a song his record label produced because he has one apparently. What's another failed business venture to a guy like this? The first thing you'll notice is the set, and wow. It's so bad, it's distracting. From the mismatched cardboard cutout buildings to the blue tarp behind them that's not even wide enough to fill out the entire shot, it's an assault on the eyes. And it may seem trivial to even talk about a comedy special set, but this is Brendan Schaub, who is A, not a comedian, and B, a man who cares deeply about appearances. Compare this set to You'd Be Surprised, where Schaub took to the stage of a 1,400-seat theater with his name in lights behind him, whereas Gringo Papi was filmed in Dallas, Texas at the Addison Improv, a club with a max capacity of 300, with this backdrop. It's a noticeable downgrade. I can only assume without Showtime's funding, this was the best Schaub's Thick Boy Squad could afford. But why this? What is this? The special's called Gringo Papi. Just a regular old Mexican flag would have been a better choice and way less distracting. Hell, why not just get rid of it altogether? The Addison's brick wall would have done just fine. It's not like Schaub's trying to hide where this special was filmed. He mentions the fact that he's in Texas a good 3 or 4 times.
It's good to be in Dallas, man. You guys do it right. There's a reason I decided to shoot my special here, man. You guys just give me so much love. I absolutely love Texas, man. I love you, Texas.
I don't know if it's an attempt at getting some cheap applause, or if that's just the way Schaub reminds himself where he is. Because twice throughout this special, he forgets and starts talking to the audience like he's in Mexico, talking to Mexicans.
One of the many things I love about the Mexican culture is, and I do love your culture, man. One of the many things I love about it is you guys always have something to celebrate. The other thing I love about the Mexican culture is you guys stick together. You guys are so loyal to each other. You fucking have each other's back, and I love that.
CTE ain't whiskey, Papa. It doesn't get better with age.
It's called Underwood and Lopez. Underwood Family Farm.
Schaub can't seem to decide if he's the authority on Mexicans or if he's playing to an audience full of them. Kinda seems like this whole special was a piss-poor attempt at reaching a new audience below the border as his fan base dwindles in America, but I can't imagine any Mexicans walking away a new fan of Schaub as a result of this special. This is low-hanging fruit. Walk into a middle school classroom and you'll hear kids making the same jokes, if not funnier.
Every time dinner would come, I'm like, oh, does she really think beans go with every goddamn meal? Is she serious? She for real? Every time dinner would come, like, does it ever occur to her? Maybe Brendan's not trying to shit his pants tonight. How about that?
Maybe jokes about Brendan's butthole aren't your thing. Don't worry, Brendan's just getting started. There's plenty more eye-opening Mexican commentary where that came from. They also have a lot of kids.
I was taking my family out for dinner the other night. By family, I mean all 15 of them.
And if you think that's bad, buckle up, mijo, because there's a total of 3 jokes about flaming hot Cheetos. Because, you know, Mexicans love them.
Oh, the other thing you should know about dating a Mexican, nobody told me this. There's gonna be flaming hot Cheetos all over your house. They love them. They love them. It's like catnip for Mexicans. They love them. We're driving to couples therapy. She's crying just because she ran out of flaming hot Cheetos. I walk in the house, these Mexicans give a fuck about social distancing. There was a mask in sight. I walk in the house, there's a mariachi band. They're beating the shit out of this piñata. There's flaming hot Cheetos spraying over the goddamn living room.
It's like he Googled Mexican stereotypes and stretched out the 3 things he was able to read into a 25-minute set. And sometimes it's even less than that. Sometimes the joke is literally just watching Schaub try to pronounce things in Spanish.
Huevos rancheros. Carne asada. Pico de gallo. My favorite, chili. Every night, though, every night.
That poor microphone. Everybody in the audience just has to sit there and watch as he violates it. Going over Schaub's actual material seems almost pointless because it's not really about what he says, it's how he says it. So many of these jokes don't even have punchlines. They just end with a shit or a fuck.
White people, we're not like that, are we? As soon as we turn 16, we're all fucking see it, Peter and Debbie, and fucking... Those are my real parent names. I told you I'm white as shit, man. Apparently the Mexican culture, turn 15's a big deal. White people, we don't give a fuck.
It's a page taken straight out of the Mencia playbook. But hey, at least he's not a phony Mexican. He has a good excuse, you know. His wife is Mexican after all, but not just Mexican. That's not good enough for Schaub. For the sake of this special, she's illegal.
I married a Mexican, y'all. I married a Mexican. I thought you would like that. Listen. Listen, I thought you guys would enjoy that. Listen, Dallas, I don't mean like Taco Bell Mexican. No. I'm talking Guadalajara. Born and raised. Came to the States 10 years ago. Illegally Mexican.
Oh, really, dude?
Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I was born in Hollywood, California, which is ironic, but it's true. I was born at Kaiser off of Sunset.
That's a dicey one, B. Did you really need to lie about that? Why do you keep exaggerating people's accents and their ethnicities for the sake of your lame jokes? Your poor wife, she's still dealing with the backlash of you very publicly cheating on her and suing everyone that mentions it. And then you go and release a special where you shit on her. Not specifically for anything she's done, but because her background is a good excuse for you to pack your special with lame one-liners. I mean, there are some jokes in here that paint her out to look pretty bad, but they're so over-the-top ridiculous, I can't help but think they're just more lies from the mind of Mushmouth Mencia.
All his little friends out front in their first day outfits. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are cute as shit. I need to document this. I go, T, get tight. There's a bunch of you squeezing tight. Daddy's gonna take a picture. Ready? Cheese on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese. They're all cheese. I take out my phone, I'm all, hell yeah. I snap a pic, I text it to my girl. She gets it, she looks at it, she goes, crop out the uglies, resend.
Schaub's a joke thief. I think we're all well aware, but I didn't notice any directly stolen material in this set, at least not from other comedians' specials. He does borrow a few mannerisms like Kevin Hart's silly walk or Dave Chappelle's mic slap, but I think the funniest bit of sampling comes when Schaub tries to tell a joke about his mother-in-law mixing up keto and taquito. It's a completely made-up story. The reality is, Rogan made fun of Brendan for doing exactly that.
So I walked in, I go, Mama, you know I love Mama, what are you doing? I know you know, I'm on keto. I know you know, somebody told you I'm on keto. She goes, mijo, bueno, ándale, mijo. Cabron, look, cabron. She grabs this tray, she goes, cabron, look, taquitos. It's keto, bitch!
I just threw up in my mouth. It's all good, though. Back to the keto diet. So, I have more knowledge now.
Did you say taquito diet?
Yeah, dude,
Taquito diet.
I'm fucking...
Back to Freud.
I'm
back to the
struggle city right
back to
now.
the
I threw up
taquito
in my
diet.
mouth.
The hilarity of Brendan sifting through hours of JRE for material to do on stage aside, stuff like this really makes you wonder if all the jokes he made at the expense of his Mexican family are just projection. Fuck-ups he's made that he'd rather pin on his family. The balls on this guy to make fun of anyone for not speaking English properly. It's pretty scummy to pass your redactedness off onto your family because you're too thin-skinned to be self-deprecating. Another thing, Schaub laughs at his jokes a lot in this special, arguably more than the audience does. Guy's cracking himself up. He rushes through his delivery. He laughs to let the audience know when to laugh. And when all else fails and he's not getting the reaction he was hoping for, he name drops for cheap, easy applause.
You know how like Theo Von can't around cocaine? You know how like he struggles with cocaine? This thing was Mufasa, fucking It's like this mountain lion ate Joe Rogan's trash. This thing was fucking...
The two biggest reactions Schaub got on this special were the result of mentioning Joe Rogan and Theo Von. The audience isn't cheering because he made them laugh. They're cheering because they recognize the names. It's shameless. Really just serves to highlight what utter duds his actual jokes are.
Holy shit, dude! Yeah, I got it done. I got that Johnson & Johnson, bro. I don't feel good, bro. I can't stop sweating, bro. I feel like I'm growing wings, bro.
And may I remind you that this special was cobbled together from 5 different recordings. These are the best takes he got. Not even editing could save this train wreck. You can see the audience. You can tell when they're laughing. When it just cuts to a shot of the audience and it's completely different people, or suddenly a guy who was previously sitting perfectly still is cracking the fuck up, you know the joke bombed. These quick cuts and piped in laughs aren't enough to hide that from anyone paying attention. There are points where Brendan is just completely stumbling through his set, and that's when you remember that there are 4 takes sitting on the cutting room floor that were comparatively worse than this.
Remember the first dumbass that messed it all up for everybody, scared the shit out of from getting vaccinated? Remember that idiot? He's all over the news stations.
The Schaubisms are off the charts in this special. So egregious at times that even YouTube's closed captions were struggling to translate his babble.
And my favorite, chili, Well, no, dumbass. It's a line of the mountains, dude. It's fucking...
But the highlight of the show, by far, is the absolute bomb that Brendan ends his set on. This story about him defending his home against a mountain lion. A story that clearly never happened. He talks about walking into a gun shop in LA and leaving with a laser-sighted AR and night vision goggles. As if the Texans he's telling this joke to don't know anything about gun laws. That maybe they're a little more strict in California. But lies aside, this bit goes nowhere. It leads up to this big confrontation between Schaub and the lion, and then it just ends. No big laugh, no real punchline, not even a conclusion to the story. It's just over. And for presumably the next 3 years until Schaub releases another special, this bomb is how audiences will remember him. This is the big bang he went out on.
Dude, I went, oh shit! I slammed the door. Dude, I threw my AR-15 like this. I fucking threw my night vision. I'm not even left-handed. I was like, oh my God. Still got my Ugg boots. Still got the big dick. Not a big deal. Sorry. I got on that Ring app the next morning. I went, yo, we got a mountain lion problem, y'all.
That race to the finish, that rush to get off stage perfectly summarizes this whole experience. Gringo Papi is the name of the special, but I almost feel like You'd Be Surprised would have been a better name for this one, because honestly, I am. I'm surprised someone can work for 3 years to produce a special that's half as long as their first one. I'm surprised it took 5 takes to produce something this mediocre. I'm surprised the rating is only at 1.1 stars on IMDb. That seems really quite generous. Like, what do you have to do to earn less than a 1-star rating? Literally not show up? Just a still image of this shitty backdrop for 25 minutes? That might actually be an improvement over what we got. 25 minutes has never felt so long. Gringo Papi was so unfunny, it stole future laughs away from me. 3 months from now, I'm gonna see someone shit their pants, and I'm not even gonna crack a smile because I'll still be thinking about Brendan's Mexican cookie joke. No wonder Schaub had to finance this whole thing himself. Showtime would have to be run by the most incompetent fools in America to fund this dumpster fire. Even Netflix's standards are too high for Gringo Papi over here. There are legitimately great comedy specials on YouTube. You don't need a big production company to give you the green light on being funny, but no amount of money could have saved this from being anything other than terrible. If Gringo Papi is a comedy special, then I don't know what a comedy special is anymore. Is this less than half an hour YouTube video a special? It's not even an average. Can you really call 25 minutes of silly faces and yelling peppered in with some flaming hot Cheetos jokes special? This thing is so universally panned that even comedians that would otherwise know to keep their mouths shut are starting to let loose on Senior Schaub. No amount of artificial view count inflation can hide the fact that Gringo Papi is a real genuine stinker. Objectively, not funny. I don't know where Schaub's career goes from here, what his next course of action will be, but I'm not so dumb to think that it can't get any worse than this, because Brendan has consistently proven that he is more than capable of embarrassing himself in a more spectacular fashion week after week. Be it another dud of a special, more lawsuits to come, or perhaps another tale of one of his legendary trugwogs. No matter the case, I'm sure we'll all look back on Gringo Papi as just another one of Bappa's many blunders. Don't get me wrong, it's bad, it's downright atrocious, but Schaub can and will do worse. I, for one, can't wait for Brendan's next special in 2025. I heard it's going on TikTok. 1:30 of Schaub's best jokes strung together over 7 takes. Which ethnicity will he lazily mock in his upcoming special? Only time will tell. But one thing's for certain, it won't be Italians. He's not burning that Rogan bridge. It's all he's got. Anyways, I've overstayed my welcome. I'll leave you guys and Schaub with this message. A little something for our Gringo Papi before he and Bent Pixels inevitably decide to copyright strike this video. Ask Jay if you need help translating this one.
En virtud de la sección 107 de la Ley de Derechos de Autor de 1976, se permite el uso justo para fines tales como críticas, comentarios, informes de noticias, becas e investigación. El uso justo es un uso permitido por el Estatuto de Derechos de Autor que de otro modo podría estar infringiendo. El uso sin fines de lucro, educativo o personal inclina la balanza a favor del uso justo. Tú eres redacted.